here. Awesome. So welcome guys to our weekly team call. I'm so excited to see all of your beautiful faces. If you're on this call and you have someone on your team, text them right now and say, team call's happening. Reminder, here's the link. Because I know that everybody's got a lot going on. Sometimes it's easier to forget. I was chatting with a coach the other day. I was like, we need like a group text message where it's like literally just like reminders for the team call is happening now, because it's so easy to forget. So, but like I said, when we kicked things off, I'm excited to welcome Janelle back to the team. She literally just popped away, but Janelle,
sorry, I have to go get my baby real quick. I'll be right back.
No, it's totally fine. But just excited to have Janelle back in action. And then we have Erica on tonight, who's also a new coach over this past month. So it's awesome to see all your faces. Ashley's, I think, first time hopping on a team call. So excited to have you here tonight as well. I think tonight's call is going to be super beneficial for you, especially brand new coaches, but for coaches who've been here a long time, even myself. I think that sometimes going back to the basics, a lot of times as we continue to progress in this business and we grow in rank, we sometimes kind of forget that really it's just doing the basics over and over again. There's not anything super complicated. There's no secret sauce to this business, so to speak. But it really is just doing those things over and over again. Erin and I had a call today and we were chatting about that. She's about to come up on her year anniversary as a coach, which is so awesome. But just that constantly recruiting, constantly thinking about who are those people that God's put in my life that this could be an amazing opportunity for. And so tonight's call is just that. We are going to be talking about going Emerald in 24 hours. And so if you're brand new and you're listening to this call and you're wondering like, what does Emerald mean? First things first, I want to break that down for you guys. So being an Emerald coach just basically means that you have two coaches underneath of you. So this is one coach on each leg. So you can't have like two coaches on one leg or two coaches on this leg and no one over here. You've got to have one on each leg. You have a right and a left leg. And one of your legs is kind of a stem off of your coach that's above you. And that leg is called your strong leg. And the reason that's called your strong leg is because you are generating volume from your coach growing that leg. And so wherever they have you placed, as they place people underneath of you, I wish I had a drawing board instead of my arm, but you guys get the picture. As they place coaches underneath of you, you get volume from those people and their teams as they continue to grow. And so that is if you getting a little echo here. That is why it is such a perk to sign up with a coach when they first start their business, because you are placed at the top of their downline. And as they grow their business and start to get team builders and they put people underneath of you, you're benefiting from that volume that's underneath of them. And so, underneath of you. And so that strong leg. So you've got that strong leg and then you've got that weak leg. And we're going to dive into that a little bit more tonight about some options that you have. But really Emerald is, I think sometimes we make it this mountain in front of us, similar to what we do in our, fitness journey or other areas of our life. We kind of have these things that we're like, I don't know if I could ever do that. I don't know if I could ever lose the 5 pounds. I don't know if I could ever get this person to sign up for a challenge group. We have all these things and we create these fears around them. But really at the end of the day, going Emerald is a choice. And it's really you deciding that you're going to go all in this business. I had a great call last night that I actually listened to from a leader who's not with Beachbody, but she's actually with another network marketing company. I've been trying to get outside of my little Beachbody bubble and learn from others in network marketing. And one of the things that she said when she said she was how to find leaders is she said, a leader, someone who's going to end up being a really good coach in this business, is someone who has the same attitude about their business as they would about their favorite band coming through town. So if your favorite band came through town, or maybe you're not like me and you don't even like live music that much, I guess it's because I'm from Nashville and I'm like live music out. But for me, it would be like one of my favorite speakers or someone who I listen to all of their podcasts, right? Like if that person came through town and I found out she was in town, you better believe me, I'd be like, I need a babysitter. I need the money to pay for this ticket. Who's going to go with me? Let's go. I'm going to this concert. I'm going to hear this speaker. Like if Beth Moore came through town, I'd be like, let's drop everything. Who wants to go with me? Like $45 for ticket? Sure. Or whatever, hire a babysitter? Sure. I'll figure it out. I'll sell something to make this happen. Like I would like urgently figure something out because I'm not going to miss her coming through town. Right. And a lot of times in this business, we don't have that kind of attitude. We sign up, we tell our upline, we fill out that Google form. You remember that Google form you filled out when you first signed up? We put on there, what is our dream? What would we love to see happen in this business? And we type all these things out and we leave them there. We never think about them again. That why that you wrote down, the reason you were starting this business, like we don't ever think about it again. It's just there. We press submit and it goes off into la la land. And it doesn't actually fuel us day in and day out. And what's something so much bigger than going to see our favorite band, maybe the freedom to stay home, the freedom to pay off your debt, the freedom to help people and get paid for it, which is awesome in and of itself. Like we don't even work with that same urgency. And so I want to challenge you guys tonight to change your mindset because that's what this is about. This is not you got to be the most amazing recruiter ever and be able to say all the slick words and have all the good sales pitches. No, this is a decision. This is you saying, I'm going to go all in this business and I'm going to find that person who I can add to my business, I can get to sign up, even if it's just a family member who says, you know what, I will hold that spot. I will go ahead and sign up and help you get to Emerald in order to give you a little more time to keep recruiting. And so that's what I want to dive into tonight is just the different options that you have when it comes to hitting Emerald. Like I said, Emerald is not a destination. It is just a milestone in your journey. And I have personally seen recently one of my coaches went Emerald, Jasmine, and she just said that it really helped people start to notice what she was doing because I jumped on her Facebook page and I gave her a big shout out and I announced that she was Emerald and she got to say, I'm now Emerald. And as silly and small as that sounds, it's actually really big because all of a sudden those people who were watching you, who thought you were going to fail, are seeing that you just hit this big milestone in your business. And all of a sudden, they don't know what Emerald means. They just know that's important enough for your upline to post it on your Facebook page and give you a big shout out on Instagram and for you to be really excited. For them, it's just that first check mark of she's not going to quit. She's really in this. She's not that girl on Facebook who's just trying to sell something. She's truly impacting people and truly changing lives. And so for people, that is just kind of that first okay, a little mark of trust. I kind of trust them now because they really are building a business. And in today's culture, with all the different network marketing stuff that's out there on Facebook, I don't know about you guys, but especially last year, I felt like I was getting hit up by everybody, right? And so people are skeptical. They're kind of a little bit nervous. And so to have that first little ranking under your belt, it kind of gives you a boost of confidence and kind of allows people to see that you're really serious about this business. And it's not just something that you're doing and you're going to give up on tomorrow. And so first off, Emerald is kind of a check mark. It's just that first little thing that kind of gives you some momentum, right? The second reason that you want to hit Emerald is that when you hit Emerald, you actually start to get leads from the company. Now, I don't know if you guys heard last month, but Beachbody for a long time, we have had Team Beachbody and then we've had Beachbody over here. And so for a long, long time, you could go to beachbody.com, you could do a payment plan, you could order and purchase a program through Beachbody. Now, Beachbody's kind of shutting down that portion of their company and people will only be able to purchase a program through a coach. Now, there's still going to be lead programs because we have websites, we have, commercials, we have different ways that people discover our products. But every single one of those people is going to be placed with a real coach, and a coach that's going to walk them through a program. This is a really big deal. And if you missed it, Michelle Myers actually posted about it in Team Iron and did a whole post about it. But it's really great for the network and for the coaching network, because no longer can someone just hop on Amazon and, order Beachbody on demand, right? Like, or hop on and just order it. Like, they're going to get placed with a coach. So for us, that's really big. And that's another reason why you want to be Emerald. We're going to see, it may not happen overnight, but we're going to start to see a huge growth and fluctuation in that customer lead program. So Emerald is one of the ways, in order to start to get some of those customer leads, Emerald is one of the ways that you can start to get some of those customer leads. There also is a Success Club lead program as well. And so if you're hitting Success Club every month, the months that you hit it, if you are Emerald, you have to be Emerald as well, you will get leads from Beachbody as well through that. And so Emerald, basically what that looks like when you get those leads, you don't get the commission off the bat, right? That wouldn't really make a lot of sense, because obviously Beachbody's doing the sale for you. But basically what happens is that person goes online, they purchase the program, they get placed with you. And the really cool thing is that the next time around, maybe there's somebody who gets on Shakeology and they're ordering Shakeology every single month. You make that commission going forward. So Michelle was telling me a story. This is like 3 years ago. So this guy's probably still around buying Shakeology. She had a guy who literally was from the lead program. Like, he was a Shakeology lead program. And he had purchased Shakeology. He had been purchasing it since she had become a coach, which has been like 10 years at this point. And so he had been for 4 years when we talked about it, had been 4 years. He had been purchasing Shakeology every single month. She had emailed him. She had tried to get in contact with him. She's like, hey, I'm your coach. I'm here to help you. And nothing from the guy. But she'd been making commission off of him every single month from his Shakeology order. And so that's what you will start to get when you hit Emerald as well. And so number one, just to I like to recap things as I'm going. Number one, it's going to help you really get that momentum going in your business. Number two, it's going to help you start to get some customer leads. And number three is really, at the end of the day, whether it's pushing for diamond, whether it's pushing for 1-star diamond, whether it's pushing for 2-star diamond, whatever that looks like, it's continuing to go Emerald. And so I have the mindset now in my business of, how can every week I go Emerald, right? How can every week I add 2 people to my team? Because the reality is, this opportunity is not going to work for everybody. I mean, look around the room, look on our Facebook page. There's people who are gone who were here just a few months ago because they get into it and maybe they realize it's not something they want to do, or maybe they honestly just don't have the perseverance to push through. Because let's be real, this isn't a fast money business, right? It takes persistence, it takes showing up. You can't be in it just to make quick money. This is about changing lives, and you have to believe in the mission before anything else, right? And so you have to constantly be recruiting, because you're going to have people who it doesn't work for, and that's okay, but you want to continue to be bringing new people in. And so that's kind of my last point with why Emerald is so important, is that it puts you in the mindset of constantly recruiting. And so, and just to be real, it's more fun when you have people with you, right? This whole thing would be exhausting mentally and physically in every aspect if we didn't have each other. And that's the beauty of the body of Christ, is that every single one of us, I was actually reading something today, and I was telling my high schoolers this tonight, so I'm sorry if I start preaching, but I was talking about how with Legos, there's a lot of different pieces to Legos, and some Lego pieces are bigger and prettier, and some Lego pieces are really small and not that fun looking. But when you put it all together, it makes something really cool and really beautiful. And that is how our team is. We all bring different things to the table. Some of us, it might feel like smaller things. Some of us, it might be more of a leadership position where we're holding things together, little more. But at the end of the day, all of us working together, it creates something really beautiful. We all have different goals in the business. We all have different things that we're trying to accomplish maybe, but we all at the end of the day hold around the same mission of we want to help women get fit and healthy and point them to Jesus, right? For the glory of God. And so that is our mission, and that's what we want to do. And so having these women to just cheer you on as you grow your team and you push for Emerald and you bring those people onto your team, it's just going to make it more fun because you've got people, you've got a tribe, you've got people who understand you and understand the mission. And that's how we're going to reach more people. You know, I think some people, they're like, well, I really like running challenge groups and I love like, you know, helping people get fit and healthy. But I don't really want to do the whole coaching thing. And I totally get that. If that's not where you are, if you're cool with being right here. But in my mind, I'm like, I want to have other coaches because I can only help so many people. Like, I know my limit, and let's just be real. Like, I pretty much maxed that out last month. But I know my limit. Like, I know how many people I can help. But if I'm going to help more people, and if our mission on the Uplift Tribe is to truly help as many people as we can, then we have to bring more coaches into the mission, right? Like, we can't just sit back and like hope that they like show up, or just like, you know, obviously it's not all about the masses. We want to have quality, but if we've got amazing coaches who can help us reach more people, then that's even better. That's Michelle's mission from Team Iron, but that's our mission too. And I'm sure if you're listening and I'm not your direct upline, I know that that's your coach's vision as well. It's like, we just want to help more people get fit and healthy and ultimately point them to Jesus. And so getting to Emerald is just that first step of building your own little tribe. So let's talk about some of the ways that you can get to Emerald and why it really is a decision. So first things first, I think a lot of times we have this mindset. I know that I did, and I'll be totally transparent with you guys. For so long, really the first 2 years of my business, like I was so scared to talk to anyone in my personal circle. Like all of my challengers were people that I had met online, which I don't know if that's a little weird or not, but yeah, it was all these people that I had met through social media, and I like felt like I was living a double life because I was like, I've got this massive social media presence, not massive, I shouldn't say it like that, but like big social media presence. My business is growing, but yeah, I felt like I had no one locally in my challenge groups. Like I didn't have a true community here where I could host workouts. Like I maybe had some random people, but it wasn't like cohesive. And so I just began to pray and ask the Lord, like, what does that look like? Will you bring those people? Will you give me boldness? Because it is scary when we're reaching out to friends and family. And so I want you to know, first and foremost, that when I'm saying this, I'm saying it from a standpoint of like, I have been where you are, and I know that it is scary, but the reality is that you are starting a business. And so you've kind of got to take off your like, oh, this is a hobby hat. And you've got to really believe and know that you are a businesswoman. God has called you to this. It's not something that is this cool opportunity that you're going to try for a few months. This is now your responsibility. You have committed to it. And it's your responsibility to see it through, right? Like God's given it to you. And so, so as you think about that, think about people in your life who you know in your community who've started businesses. I mean, I'm sure some of us know people who have started restaurants. Some of us know people who have started gyms. Like we all know people who have started little businesses in our towns probably. And the reality is what happens whenever they start a business? They invite all of their friends and family out, right? Like they actually have a night where they test out like how their servers are doing and how their cashiers are doing. And they say, hey, come out. It's a family night. They even invite like the server's family, and they all get to come. And they all get to kind of like eat and try it and just test everything out. And they're asking their friends and family, hey, will you post about this on Facebook? Will you post about this on Instagram? People rally around them, right? But why don't we have that same mindset for our businesses? Because we should, because these are real businesses. They may be online and they may not be a brick and mortar, but asking for your family's support and your friends' support is okay. And I want to just like free you up in that right now, because what you're doing is a really big deal. And I think sometimes we just think like this is so small. But Brian really, like one day, I don't even know why I'm tearing up right now. I just get emotional sometimes. But he said to me one day when we were driving to church, he said, Caroline, you know, that, and hopefully this also just like fills some of your other hearts up. But like some of you guys, you have 1,000 followers on Instagram. You have 2,000 followers on Instagram, 5,000 followers on Instagram, 15,000 followers on Instagram. Like that's more people than goes to a lot of our churches. I mean, if you think about that, that's kind of mind-boggling. When you look around in your church, I know my church has 4 services, but to look around and be like, I have more people following me on Instagram than fit in all 4 of those services. Like that's a really big deal. And that's a really big calling. And that's a really big responsibility. But yet we're scared to even tell our families, like, hey, will you come jump in my first challenge group? Will you be my first coach? Like, no, we've got to be bolder. We've got to be proud. Like, this is exciting. God is doing some big stuff. And if we'll just share our stories with people and invite them to be a part of it, I guarantee you they're going to support you way more than you think they will. And I think it's hard sometimes because this is health and fitness, and it can be a little bit kind of weird sometimes because we don't want to say, hey, you need to be a part of my challenge group. And then they're like, oh, so you're saying I'm fat? No, like that's not what I'm saying. But to be able to say, hey, I'm hosting my first challenge group. I'm so scared. You know, this is totally out of my comfort zone. But is there any way possible that you would mind just jumping in and trying it and kind of just being like my test person? You know, I know that you already do CrossFit, or I know that you like don't really work out a ton, or I know that you walk on the treadmill, or I know you do whatever, like whatever it is that they're doing. But it would literally just mean so much to me if you were kind of my first person. And if you would go to them with an authentic heart and spirit and speak to them, because hopefully this is your best friend or your mom or your dad or whoever, and just say, do you mind if when you sign up, if I sign you up as a coach, you're going to get 25% off going forward, but just go ahead and sign up as a coach because it's free for you to sign up as a coach when you buy your challenge pack. And then in about a month or 2, once I've kind of got some things rolling and I'm starting to get people in my challenge group, if you decide that you want to cancel, that's totally fine. You know, I'll even pay you for the $15 fee that you have to pay each month. And you'll get 25% off of your Shakeology. So automatically, you just got one coach on one leg. And then on the other leg, if you're married, sign your spouse up. Brian and I make a lot more money through, like I'll just give you guys a quick example. So in my account, so basically I have 3 accounts. I've got me here, Brian here, and then my other account here. And so what I have been doing now, at the beginning, 4 years ago when I started this business, it was a little more difficult to sign him up to be a coach, right? But since I placed him in that spot, I send all of my orders through my second CBC. So I've got my main one, him, and then my second CBC. I sent all of my orders through that, right? Because he doesn't have any orders coming through him, guys, but because he's right there in the smack dab middle, you know, some months that might be an extra $400 to $500 for us. Actually, probably more like $600 to $700, just by him being right there in between those 2 CBCs. And it's because he's at the very top of my weak leg downline. And so while it is an investment in the beginning, it is 100% worth it. Caitlin actually recently signed her husband up to be a coach. And as I was doing some research, we're still trying to figure out exactly if you're able to do this because we couldn't figure it out when we were doing it. And Patrice might actually even know. But she signed her husband up with a challenge pack. So she did the Beachbody On Demand for a year and then Shakeology. But we're trying to do the completion pack, but for some reason, she wasn't able to do it. But from my research, the completion pack should have been the cheapest option so that way you don't have to pay for you're not paying for another year of Beachbody On Demand. But my whole point here is, and we can figure that out for you guys later, and I'll comment and let you guys know, people who are watching the recording. But when you purchase that challenge pack, you've got to remember that you as the coach are going to get the fast start bonus. So while you're spending $160 to sign your husband up, you're going to get that $50 fast start bonus. So automatically that just dropped it down to $110. And you're getting, the performance line or a 30-day supply of Shakeology. And so it's a pretty incredible deal. Caitlin raised her hand, so let's see what she was saying. I think
Yeah, I just wanted to say that what I figured out and what I ended up doing was I bought him the quarterly Beachbody Access instead of the annual. So it was only $130, but I still got all the same Success Club points for it. But it was just a little bit less. And then on my Shakeology order, I ordered the packet with like all 3 flavors, like this little sucker. So I got to try vanilla and cafe latte and figure out that I loved them. So then I was able to give a few samples to people or sell them for $2. I directly sold the extra portion fix to a friend because she wanted it, so I got that money back. But
so smart.
yeah,
And
you just order.
That's so smart. And for you guys, so automatically that's 130 minus $50 because you get that $50 bonus. So already you're at 80, which is cheaper than what you're paying if you're buying just Shakeology. So, you know, for you guys who are on the fence and you're like, well, I've been really scared about purchasing that. You also have to keep in mind that that would keep you active that month as well, because that's an order through you. So maybe it's even just saying, hey, this month my Shakeology order is going to be signing my husband up. So if you have more questions about that, obviously reach out to your upline, whoever that is, and we will walk you through it. But they definitely make it super duper easy. And it's really not as expensive as people think it is. So automatically right there, you're getting a 30-day supply of Shakeology for $80 and signing your husband up as a coach, which is waiving that $40 sign-up fee. And so I would highly recommend you guys, as we talk, it was kind of wrap this up for you, as we talk about going Emerald in 24 hours. What I want you guys to do as you step away from this call is I want you to sit down right now while it's fresh on your mind and write out all the people that you know who are in your inner circle who you're going to ask, hey, would you mind being a part of my first test group, my first challenge group? Go ahead and set a date right now of when you're going to be hosting that. Maybe you're hosting it with your upline, but ask them, say, when you purchase that challenge pack, would you mind signing up to be a coach? And let them know that they're really helping you get your business going and that you're so appreciative. And I promise you guys, like, people are going to really just be so thankful that you took the time to like go out of your way and talk to them about it. And I guarantee you that they're going to support you a lot more than you probably think they are, because it's a lot harder to backpedal and go back to those people than it is to just be all in the very beginning. And so hop off this call tonight. I know this was kind of a short and sweet one tonight, only 30 minutes. But my action items are for you to sit down and really think about who are those first people you can help. Maybe you're someone who's listening to a call and you've been the coach for a little bit and you're still not Emerald. Think about, like, who is someone who has reached out to me over and over again that I could, ask them, hey, would you mind signing up to be a coach? Because I guarantee you, like I said, that there are more people in your life than you think there are. And sometimes it's just overcoming that initial fear. So does anybody have any questions? Anybody? If you are like not showing yourself, you can drop it in the chat box as well. And I can answer it really quick. But again, guys, I just want to reiterate that it's not about rank. It's not about, like, oh, let's just, climb the ladder. But at the end of the day, I mean, if we're going to put in time into this business, like, I want to see you guys flourish like I do. And I just know that, like, having those first initial people, getting your business going, building the rank is what's going to bring the income in and help your family. And if you're putting time into this, like, I want for you to see the reward of it. And it's just a blessing that we get to literally help change lives while getting paid to do it. So I never want you guys to feel like, oh, Caroline just won't give up on the Emerald thing. Like, that's definitely not what I'm here trying to do. I just really want to help you guys really be successful. So know that that's where my heart is. All right. Well, if we don't have any questions, we will hop off, and I am going to post this on YouTube. So I will post it on our team page. So if you miss any point of this and you want to go back and just listen to it again, feel free. And again, I'm here to answer any questions. So just let me know.
Thanks, Caroline. I didn't hear any of it because I had to get my baby, but I will rewatch it and then I'll let you know if I have questions.
friend. I'm just so glad you're back and that you were able to have fun. So,
Yes, me too.
friends, well, y'all have a great night. Love you guys, and we will talk next week.
Thanks. Love you too.